This YouTube video is a continuation of the previous YouTube video in this series. In this excerpt, Kathleen speaks to the fact that after being pressured into contributing money towards Devra Patton West's birthday party, which was to be some appetizers, wine and so on, when Miss West saw what the staff students had planned, she said no, that's not sufficient. She wanted a pearl necklace, a photocopier, etc., etc. Once again, this lunatic is running a cult, was running a cult then, is running a cult now, where normal behavior does not apply. The laws of the land do not apply. Employment laws of the land certainly do not apply. Miss West can basically do and say what she wants, and nobody, because they're all afraid, are going to go to the police. And if they do go to the police or complain to the employment benefits office, the liars for hire, Jack West at the time and Andrew George and others, would basically give Miss West false witness statements, which is exactly what happened to several employees. Rebecca West in 2007 being one of them. Another one in 2007 was Colida Finch.
Oh yeah, she her birthday gift from everybody was a dinner party, a appetizer party, which was coordinated by myself, Cindy Beeman, and Eric. And Deborah then saw the plan for the birthday and stated that it was not sufficient enough, that she wanted a pearl necklace, a coffee machine, and a coffee pot maker for the group.
From the group to her? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that was conveyed to Esther Michaels and then conveyed to me, and then Anandra.
Who then presumably conveyed it to the group.
Yes.
And they had to go and dig into their pockets.
Yes.
Right.
And buy her whatever they bought her. I've been dismissed, so I don't know what the gift actually turned out to be.
At the time of Kathleen's dismissal, she reports that Deborah West was upstairs screaming her head off, stamping her feet and slamming her office door. And what brought about this strange behavior from Miss West, though not strange, this is normal behavior from Miss West, what brought it about was the fact that Kathleen had decided that she was going to take the days off that she'd asked for some time ago, and which had been formally approved in writing by Miss West. But as part of the brainwashing and conditioning, Miss West removed that permission days before Kathleen was going to take the time off, to see if the employee had been broken enough to accept the fact that she now wasn't going to get the time off. Well, that didn't work with Kathleen, obviously. Hence Miss West going ballistic, which is exactly what a child does when it doesn't get its way, particularly a child that is mentally disturbed, like Mr. West is.
So how are you feeling about your experience up there and the fact that you were dismissed, relieved in one respect, I would think?
Yeah, I'm relieved, but I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. It was the weirdest experience I've ever had in my life, working for these people. It was very draining. Oh yeah, when they fired me, Deborah was screaming upstairs at the top of her lungs, stating that this type of behavior will not take place in my organization, is what she was screaming over and over, and stomping her feet, and then slammed her door. Esther Michaels then ran down the stairs, looked at me, and said, "You're fired. Leave the property."
What behavior was she referring to?
Me telling them that I was taking those days off, which had been authorized.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have the document that authorized my day off on Sunday.
In this excerpt, Kathleen Francisco talks about Deborah Patton West's behavior towards one of the senior members of her cult, Ananda George, who obviously had been successfully brainwashed and conditioned. Kathleen speaks to the fact that West gave her a $250 check for a birthday, then took it away, and then on her birthday took her birthday cake away, and then made her stand next to the dining room table while everybody else ate. These are clearly the actions of a mentally disturbed, psychopathic personality.
Have you heard her abuse other people while you were there?
Oh,
screaming
yes.
And shouting?
Yes, she had bought or had given Anandra a $250 check
For her birthday.
For Anandra's birthday, and then took it back and told Anandra that she was being disciplined, punished for her ego, and made Anandra stand for approximately about 30 minutes at the edge of the table while everybody ate, and demeaned her character. Took her birthday cake away that we had gotten Esther Michaels, which we then took it away from Esther Michaels, scraped off the top, put Anandra's name on it, scraped off the top, and then we gave it to somebody else. Oh, it was, then we gave it to Barbara for Barbara's farewell party.
In this excerpt, Kathleen Francisco talks about a check for $30,000 that a student, Shirley Cornell, gave to Deborah West. All the checks are just made out to Deborah West, and all the money ends up disappearing. So it sounds like this check was voluntarily given by Shirley Cornell. We say voluntarily. There's always huge amount of pressure to donate money to Deborah West. There are lots of examples of theft, fraud, extortion, even the case of a kidnap of one student, Marion Cantwell, which was off in the future at this time. I think that was 2004, where she was held captive until she agreed to give up the sale proceeds of her house, or a large portion thereof. Her friend Dave Kushner, another student, was defrauded out of $30,000. All of this goes on inside the cult. None of this gets outside to the press, and nobody goes to the police, because they know if they do, they will become the target of a campaign of psychic attacks from Miss West, who, if she doesn't injure them or kill them, will make their life a misery. So people just walk away empty-handed.
Yeah.
For the house.
Shirley, what's her last name?
Speak up.
Shirley something.
Shirley Cornell gave them $30,000 so that they could give the $30,000
Yeah.
to the owner to show their interest in the house.
And has that been given back to Shirley Cornell?
No, I don't think anybody up there knows the truth.
No.
So Shirley Cornell's $30,000 is basically being defrauded out of her.
Yes, I would
whatever
have
the
to.
term
Yeah.
is. Wow.
Yeah. And who knows who else? Who else? I mean, they're expecting checks. I don't know who they're from or when they're coming, but that's all she says. Deborah West is that she has more tricks up her sleeve.
In this excerpt, Kathleen states that she feels that Miss West is very controlling, mind-controlling, and sick, basically, mentally ill, and that she really berates and kills, metaphorically I guess, the people who give her money. There's no respect whatsoever for anybody who gives her money. It's just a game to her that she has played for 20 or 30 years and got away with it, whereas if she had done this out east, she would have gone to jail a long time ago. Martha Stewart went to jail for a hell of a lot less than Miss West is doing, and has done.
now you've left, basically, what is your view of her as a person and how she treats other people?
She is very controlling, very mind-controlling, abusive.
Sick.
Yeah,
She
very
talks
sick.
terrible about these people that are giving her money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she ridicules the people giving her money. She doesn't care.
Wow.
No. She doesn't care. They could be sitting in the next room.
Yep. What does she call them? What are the word when she talks about them as, you know? Oh, you said it earlier. Spiritual idiots.
Yeah, spiritual idiots.
Wow.
Puppets. Puppets on a string.
Yep.
Gosh.
In the next excerpt, Kathleen talks about how she is going to make formal complaints to the Labour Board and apply for compensation because of the way she was fired. Unfortunately, what most employees find after they leave is that Miss West, Jack West, and Andrew George and others, all being members of the cult, lie on behalf of Devra Patton West. And because you've got several people singing off the same hymn sheet, so to speak, the Labour Board doesn't know what to do because the employee who is making the complaint is one voice against several. So most complaints don't go very far, even though clearly if the Labour Board matched together all the complaints that had ever been made about Devra West, they would see that they were all saying the same thing, and therefore that others are lying to protect her.
Is there anything else you can think of you'd like to add? Are you going to go to the job board or anything?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Employment
plan.
board.
I've already been to the job service and filed my complaint with them, which will, we'll see where that goes. And then I'm constructing my letter of complaint to the Labor Board for the way I was fired. I'm going after severance pay, if at all possible, because of the conditions I was fired under.
Okay.
In this excerpt, Kathleen talks about the manipulation and control used by Devra West to not only raise money, but to force employees to join her cult. She basically issued an edict saying that each of the employees must attend meditation group to line up the energies to raise money for her Flathead project. Of course, forcing employees to join her religion is totally against the law, which is why Esther Michaels followed each of the employees around with a form and a pen, asking each employee, saying that they had to fill this form out or sign it to say that they were attending these meditations of their own free will, which obviously they were not.
Yeah, the meditations, they encouraged all the staff members to show up for group meditations to line up our energies
Without
to
being paid.
bring up the money for the Eagles Rest property at Flathead Lake.
So you
And that
weren't
was-
paid for this,
No.
but you felt that you were under duress to come anyway.
Oh yeah, we were told.
We were need to sign.
Right. And then
Tell.
Esther Michaels wrote up a form stating that we were there as our own free will, but then through the day followed us around with a pen and the form and made us sign the paper.
But you weren't there of your own free will.
No.
But you signed it anyway through fear of losing your job.
Right. If we didn't sign it, they would have fired us.
Okay, so they got you there, they covered their backs, and they got you there without paying you,
Right.
under duress, basically.
To review the rest of this material, please move on to the next YouTube video in this series.